All right. So, like I said, we on Thursday we were working on surface area and volume. Well, we kind of defined it, right? We defined what was surface area, what was volume, what was the difference between the two. And then we started really touching on just for a perfect rectangular prism. And so tonight what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to put a bit on surface area and volume, and then we're going to go from there. And so let's kind of refresh our memory just a little bit. Do you all remember what was the formula for volume of a prism? Y'all remember? So remember, we have, when we're talking about a rectangular prism, we have three different dimensions, right? We have how long it is, how high it is, and how wide it is. So when we're talking about the volume formula, we want to say that our formula is length times our width times our height. So when you multiply all three of those, that is your volume. And the one thing we also want to remember is that when we're using volume, we always want to make sure that we put it in units cubed. Units cubed. And, sorry. Units cubed. And that's because we're multiplying three different values here for this 3D shape. So you just want to make sure that that's for your units. I mean, that's how you would write your answer. All right. So, and then also going back to volume really quickly is that's the space that it takes up. So if I am filling up a water bottle, I am filling up a pool, I am just everything is something, the amount of soup that comes in a can, all the things that involve filling something up or how much something can hold, that is going to always involve volume. All right, so let's jump to surface area. These are problems we did on Thursday. Some more past. Okay, so surface area. And I'm actually going to go off camera for a second. Y'all can see. Oh, y'all. Okay. My computer's acting crazy. Okay. As long as I'm sharing, that's cool with me. All right, so we have this box here, right? And I'm going to kind of come off camera a little bit. It's my camera. Do y'all see my camera? There we go. All right, so here I got a Cheez-Its box, right? This is my Cheez-Its box. Rectangular prism, right? Looks like a rectangular prism. What I'm going to do is I'm going to label the different parts of my box, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it, let's look at it like this. So I'm going to look at my Cheez-Its box like this. If I want to label the top part A, I'm going to label my top part A. How many side A's are there on this rectangular prism? There's a big section here. Where would the other side A be on this prism? So this is my side A, this top surface. Where would my other side A be? What y'all think?
The top and the bottom. Hold on.
The bottom.
Yeah, the top and the bottom.
Right. The bottom is the other part A. So you got a top A here. This matches with the bottom piece. So I'm also going to put A on the bottom. So how many side A's do I have on this rectangular prism? How many side A's do I have?
Two.
Two. I got two. So not quite 20.
I didn't mean to say 20.
I was like, girl, I think you meant to say two. But yes, I got you too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make note of that. I'm going to grab my text box because that's going to be important to me. Remember, surface area is everything on the outside. We're talking about the outside of the shape. So I want to make sure that if I'm talking about the outside, I know that I have two part A's on the outside of my box, okay? So I'm going to just keep it 2 for right now. Then what I'm going to do, is let's find a part B. Now, let's say my part B is this right here. This is my part B. So I'm going to write part B here. So that's my part B. Now, where is the other part B on this rectangular prism? This is my A, this is my A, this is my B. So where's my other B?
On the
Behind.
On the back, right here, right?
Yes.
This is one side of B, this is the other side of B. So I'm going to make sure I write that. And now how many part Bs do I have?
2.
Got 2 part Bs. I'm going to make sure I note that again, that I have another 2 part Bs. I just want to remember that. And then the last part, so I've got my A, my B, my B. And now I'm going to do my C, which is I'm going to use this side. So I'm going to write C. And I know y'all can't see it that well, but there's my C there. And so if I have a C here, that means the other C is going to be on this side. One's over here, the other one's going to be over here. So now how many part C's do I have?
2.
2. Once again, I got 2. So what I want y'all to see is that I am identifying each side of my rectangular prism. I've identified the top and the bottom. I've identified the front and the back, and I've identified the left and the right side of my box or my prism. Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. So then let's kind of go back to the idea of what were the 3 dimensions that we were multiplying when we were trying to find volume. We had the length, we had our width, and we had our height, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our width and our height. So let's look at A. When I look at A, which is the top, right? When I look at A, my A only involves how long it is and how wide it is, right? Just this top surface is only going to try, we're only to figure out what A is. I only want to do my length times my width. Length times my width. Does everybody see what I'm saying? Even if I'm looking at the bottom A, it's always the length times the width. So I'm going to make sure that for that 2, I'm going to say L times H. Okay? I'm sorry, not H, W. I'm supposed to be a W. Length times width. All right, so then when I look at my B, for just this square, this rectangle here that I have here, what are the 2 dimensions that I need to be worried about? My length, my width, or my height? I'm looking for 2.
Hold on. Can you repeat that?
Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at B, right? I'm looking at my part B, right? This is my part B. What dimensions, what 2 dimensions out of the 3, length, width, and height, which 2 do I really need to be concerned about?
The length, maybe?
The length is 1. Yep, I want it because this is how long it is. But then also my what?
Width.
So remember, this is our width, but this is how tall it
That's
is.
the height.
So that's our height, right? So we would say that would be 2 times our length times our height. So Jasmine, do you see why this would be our height and this is our length?
Yeah, but I'm confused because I just looking at what you typing in, I'm trying to figure out what you're doing.
So okay, so let me finish this part and then I'm gonna kind of try to tie it all together.
Okay.
So that's our B, right? And we know that we have 2 B's. Y'all said we got one on the front and then one on the back. So for each B, for each side B, the to find the area, it would be our length times our height. Length times our height. That's how we'll find out what the surface area is. And then for C, part C, that was this right here. Once again, I'm looking at it just like how I've been holding it the whole time. Right? I've been looking at it like this. Here's my part C. My part C is on the side, which is how wide it is. So I'm going to say that it's the width times how high it is. Notice what I'm saying again. This was the front, so this is how long. But if I turn it, this is saying how wide times how high. How long times how high. How wide times how high. So my formula here,
Yes.
height times width. What'd you say, Jasmine?
Oh, talking to my son. I'm sorry. Let me mute.
Does
Oh
it
no,
matter which way it goes if it's width times height or height times width?
no, it doesn't. I could have said width times height. I could have said that. Just like over here, I could have said length times width, height times length.
Okay.
But you just don't want to make sure you just want to make sure that you don't. So like if you notice, y'all, I'm multiplying the length. Here, let me circle it. If you notice, I'm multiplying the length at least twice. I'm multiplying it here. I'm multiplying it here. I'm multiplying the width twice. I'm multiplying it here. I'm multiplying it here. And then I multiply the height twice here and here. So you notice that you're multiplying each of those dimensions at least twice, which all of it is being multiplied by 2. Remember, because there's 2 A's, there's 2 B's, and there's 2 C's. Okay? So I wanted you all to kind of talk it out so that we could build this formula so that you understand why am I multiplying the length and the width by 2? Why am I multiplying the height and the width by 2? Because there's 2 for each of these sides. There's 2 part A's, there's 2 part B's, and there's 2 part C's. Okay? So that's why we keep multiplying those numbers by 2. Okay? Any questions so far? Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some problems. Before we do that, though, one thing I did want you to kind of think about is remember when we were talking about volume, right? I'm gonna just scroll up really quickly. When we were talking about volume, we all said that when you get your answer is in units cubed, right, to the third power because you multiply 3 different times, right? What do you all think the unit should be for surface area? So it's still going to be units, but should it be another? What would the exponent be for this particular one? What number do I keep
Square.
multiplying by to get for the surface area?
2.
2. So when you're doing surface area, it's squared because each time you're multiplying by 2, by 2, by 2. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and jump to those problems and let's get that party started. All right, so kind of follow me first. Follow me first. Watch me do the first one so that you all can kind of get the idea of it, and then we're gonna do some practice problems. We're gonna kind of talk out the rest of them. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna rewrite our formula. So this is all multiplication and addition. Multiplication and addition, okay? So it's 2 times L times H, and I'm actually going to make this caps, times L times H, oh my gosh, plus 2 times L times W, and then plus 2 times H times W. All right, so this is our formula here. Make this a little bit smaller. Okay, I don't know why I'm just not through. All right, so let's kind of work through these problems. So let's first identify what's the length, the width, and the height. So looking at this problem, I have a prism, 17 meters by 10 meters by 4 meters. So let's see. Evelyn, what is the length for this prism? So how long is it?
17.
17 meters. The length is 17. Jasmine, how tall is the prism?
10 meters.
10 meters. And then Dallas, how wide is the prism?
4.
4, perfect. All right, so just making sure that we all are good on identifying what's the length, the width, and the height. We've got 17, 10, and 4. So let's kind of work out through this problem. Black. Make it a little bit smaller. All right. So instead of saying, so the first part says 2 times L times H. So 2 times whatever my length is times whatever my height is. So I'm going to say 2 times my length, which is 17, times my height, which is 10. So that's the first part of my problem. Then the next part says plus 2 times the length, which was 17, times the width, which we said was 4. And then the last part, we take that and we say plus 2 times our height, which is 10, times the width, which is 4. All right, so my suggestion is the easiest way to do this is to break it up piece by piece. So we solve this part, we solve this part, and we solve this part. Once you get all 3 of those values, you just add them together to get your answer. So if I do 2 times 10 times 17 in my calculator, I should get 340, correct? Did y'all get 340?
Yeah.
340. Then I've got 2 times 17 times 4. That's 136. And then 2 times 10 times 4. That's 80. That's 80. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of those numbers together. And what you all get as your final answer?
556
Yep. 556 what?
meters. Oh, is it meters?
556 meters squared. Yep. 556
I gotta
meters.
remember that squared.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions there?
No.
So for these, it's a lot more work, right? Like it's not going to be as easy as our good old multiply, 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 and there's the answer, right? So it's a little bit more work that needs to be done when you're trying to find surface area. So let's go ahead and go to another problem. This one, we can already identify that this is a what?
4 equal sides.
This is 4 equal sides, so it's a cube, right? It's a cube. So we're gonna figure out what is the surface area. So I'm gonna put the formula back up here. All right. Well, so for this one, it's really easy because y'all like every single thing we already know is 1.25 or 1.5 is the length, 1.5 is the height, and 1.5 is the width. So Let's go through the problem. If everything is 1.5, this makes this problem super easy. So 2 times 1.5 times 1.5, and then we do that again, right? So there we go. 2 times 1.5 times 1.5, and then we are all adding these together. So what is 2 times 1.5 times 1.5?
Sorry. Hold up. It is 4.5.
4.5, which means that this is
They all
also
4.5.
4.5, which means this is also 4.5. So let's add it all up. And Dallas or Evelyn, y'all tell me what you get.
I got 13.5 inches square.
13.5 inches squared. Yes. Good job. Good job. Good job. Yep. So any questions, y'all? Any questions? Any questions? I know we've only done 2, but y'all have any questions?
No.
No.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna have you all. I think there's like 4 more problems. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you all. Let's get through each of these problems, and then we'll go from there. So I want you all to try this one. Do you all need me to write the formula at the top again?
I think we can try without it.
No.
Okay. That is it up there though, if you need it. So let's do I'll give you all about 3 or 4 minutes to do this one, and then we'll go to the next one.
What? I don't know why I write notes like that.
Why you laugh like that, huh?
What are we doing?
So you have to look at this over.
Same thing to me.
It's pretty much the same thing. Nobody.
So you just explained it to me. But okay. All right.
If you say so. Alright, let's
All right, so I'm gonna give you all another minute, and then I'm gonna go to the next problem.
oh, my head itch. Money, money coming, money, money, money. Are we going to go over that one or?
Yep, we are.
Net it here.
I have a question. So when the unit changes, it just changes because it's not a square, right? Or does it change because we're doing the different? We're doing it because it's the surface area and not the volume.
Say the first part again. Say the first part
For
one more
the,
time.
for the unit, it changes from cube to square because I mean it changes from square to cube because it's the surface area, not the volume.
Yeah, so yes, so surface area is always square. Surface area is squared because you're multiplying two, like two sides, like the top and the bottom of a rectangular prism. So volume is everything on the inside of the box. So everything on the inside of the box is only going to involve the length, the width, and the height of the box. But surface area is everything on the outside. So you have to think everything being multiplied by two, which is why it's squared instead of cubed. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and go over this one. So you should have gotten 56 plus 42 plus 24, correct? Like when you added those three numbers together. And y'all should have got 122.
So okay, another question. Does it matter that it's
Mhm.
42 before? I mean 56 before 42? I'm sorry.
No, it does not matter. It does not matter. As long as you can make sure that you had the 56 and you had the 42.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it does not matter. One thing about this formula, though, that's a good question. The one thing about this formula is that, like, I can, like, for this example that we just did, I can put this part of the problem over here and have this part of the problem back over here. As long as I'm keeping length times width, length times height, and height times width separate. It doesn't
Okay.
matter which one I multiply first.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, so this one was 122 meters squared. 122 meters squared. All right, let's keep going. Next one. I'll give y'all like 3 minutes for this. 3 minutes for this. All right, give you all another minute. All right, so for this one, you should have had, once you did the filling in and the multiplying, you should have had, and like I said, this might not be the order that you added in, but these are the three numbers that you wanted to add together. 120 plus, oops, plus 60 plus 100. So together, your answer should have been 180 meters squared.
280.
I didn't get one. I didn't get 60.
Okay, give me 1 second. Yes, it should be 280. I cannot count. Hold on. Yes, I'm sorry, it should be 280. I have that on my paper. I just didn't write that. But yes, it should be 280, my bad. And then Dallas, you said you didn't get 60?
Yeah, I'm trying to look now. Why I don't know. I got 10 instead.
So you got 120 and 100 though, right?
Yeah.
So when we got 60, it was because we did multiply the height times the width. So 6 times 5 is 30, and then 30 times 2 is 60. So you did 2 times 6 times 5, or you either did 2 times 5 times 6.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Mm-hmm. And so then you would get 30, and then 30 times 2 equals 60.
So it's
Y'all
wait,
give me
I'm confused. So you said it's the thinking. You said it's the height and the width, correct?
yes, the height and the width.
And the height
Um,
was 6 and the width was 5, right?
the height is 6 and the width is 5. Yes.
Hmm. Okay.
So we'll come back to that one if we need to. Let's do one more, and then let's go to this one. This is a good one because you got a decimal. So let's do this one. I'll give you another couple of minutes, and then we'll keep moving.
Go back in my box. Well, this will go here. This will go here. And this is here.
So just the height, just the width, and just the length.
Yes.
All right. So for this one, the numbers you wanted to have were what, y'all? What were the three numbers that you wanted to add together?
Can you give me like 1 second?
Oh, sorry, I'm moving too fast. My bad. You gotta shut your ass. I give y'all easily.
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize.
Okay, I'm ready. Mm. I'm
All
ready.
right, let's go over this one, y'all. So, what were the three numbers that you added together?
43.2 plus 129.6 plus 54, which equals 226.8.
129.6 plus 54. Yep. And that's equal to 226.8. And that's meters. Meter square, meter square. So Evelyn, Dallas, y'all got that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Good job, good job. All right.
Cut you off, but I have to leave,
That's fine.
and I'll
So yeah,
recording.
yes, I will once we're finished recording it, I'll send it to you guys tonight.
All right, thank you.
And then actually, before you log off, I am gonna also send the link to the quizzes assignment, just like how we did on Thursday. I'm gonna give y'all another one, but it will be on surface area, so you'll get that as well.
Perfect.
And I think I heard Marcus, so yeah, Marcus will get it as
Yeah.
too, so he can work on it as well.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
All right, so let's keep
Can we
going.
go
Let's
back?
do. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Can we go back to the one before that one?
This
I
one
don't
right
know if I
here.
wrote it out wrong. Yeah, I don't know if I wrote it out wrong or I'm not sure.
No, it's okay. So let me write out the formula again. So we got 2LH, and that's all times, right? 2LH plus two. Hold on. No, no, no. Oh my God, I'm trying to zoom in. Okay. 2LH plus 2LW plus 2HW. So move that for right now. Move that for right now. All right, so we've got 2LH. 2LH was 2 times 10 times 6. So 2 times 10 times 6. Then you had plus 2LW, which is 2 times 10 times 5, plus 2HW, which is 2 times 6 times 5. You got that part, Dallas? Okay. All right, so then we're going to multiply 2 times 10 times 6. 2 times 10 is 20. 20 times 6 is 120. Plus 2 times 10 times 5. 2 times 10 is 20. 20 times 5 is 100. And then plus 2 times 6 times 5. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 times 5 is 60. So now when I add up all those together, 120 plus 100 is 220. And 220 plus 60 gives me my 180. I'm sorry, I keep saying 180. 280. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I must have added or something.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But thank you very much.
So yeah. Sometimes you got to go back and check your work. So that was the last one actually that we're going to work on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. We're going to get ready to come to a stop here. But I am going to send you all the link to this quizzes. Like I said, same thing that we did on Thursday. It just involves surface area. You all are free to log off and do it. We do not have to stay on the call to do it. And remember, it's 10 questions, very similar to the last one. It's 10 questions. So each question is essentially like worth 10 points. You want to get a 70 or better. You want your goal to be at least getting 7 or more problems correct. There are going to be an opportunity to take it over again, to get a redemption. And because if you don't get it a 70 the first time, you can try again and get it the second time. All right, so hold on, y'all. I did it wrong. All right, so I'm gonna share this link and I'm gonna put it in the chat, and you all just let me know that you can get into it. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. And I'm going to stop recording.